Now, one of the most common questions that I come across is, do I need to know coding and programming to get started with AWS? Now, I will be bifurcating this question in two types. One is, do I need to know coding and programming to pass AWS certification exam? And do I need to know coding and programming to get a job in AWS or cloud role? Now, I will be creating another video on this channel to answer this second question. But for the first question, the answer is no. You don't need to have a coding or programming background to just pass AWS exam. If your current aim or goal is to just pass a certification exam, then you are good to go without having coding or programming background. But in exam, you will come across few questions which will have statements which look like code. And what are these statements? We are going to discuss this in the same video. So stay tuned to know more. Now, if we take a look at the AWS portal, the exam details or the exam format which is provided on this portal is basically the exams have 65 questions and the format is MCQ type. You only need to select the correct answer out of the options given in the exam. That means you won't be expected to write a code or logic in exam. That's a good news, right? But then, what are these statements which look like code which are asked in exam? These are basically around AWS CloudFormation templates or maybe AWS IAM policies or AWS CLI. Now, the CloudFormation template and IAM policies are basically written in JSON or YAML format. These are not even programming languages. These are basically simple data formats. You can Google and check about what is JSON and YAML if you don't know about them and how these questions look like or how these templates or policies look like. We are going to check that just right now. So without any further ado, let's jump to AWS portal. Now this is the AWS CloudFormation documentation and we are just going to go through some basic templates. Okay, now what is a CloudFormation template? They are simply telling us it's basically a text file which is written in JSON or YAML format. It's simply a data format. Now how does it look like? I'm trying to create a hello world bucket. Okay, now this is simply a JSON format which simply says, okay CloudFormation, create a resources for me, and the name of the resource is hello bucket, and what type of resource it is basically an S3 bucket, and simply the same is written in YAML format. And if we try to jump to a few complicated JSON, I can say yes. Hey CloudFormation, create some resources for me. First is EC2 instance. I mean the name is EC2 instance. What is the type of this resource? It is EC2 instance, and define some properties of this instance, like what security group it will have, what keys it will use, what image it will use. And also create another resource for me. The name of the resource is this. The type is security group, and these are the ports which will be allowed or denied. So this is how it is. It's a simple, easy to read format which is easy to understand as well. Now jumping to the IAM policies. Now I am into IAM documentation and this is a basic JSON policy syntax written in JSON again. What does it say? It is an identity based policy, so it's simply saying that allow the user to list S3 bucket, and which S3 bucket? This example bucket. So basically list a single Amazon S3 bucket named example bucket. This is how you will be defining few IAM policies. They look complicated, but they are not that complicated. Any person without any coding or programming background can simply understand, because these are focusing on the format in which you write the code rather than a logic or looping or that complicated stuff. Okay. Now the third thing is AWS CLI. You simply write some commands in the command prompt to interact with your AWS resources. Now as I scroll down, you can see some basic commands. Okay, AWS, do what? Describe instances. For which service? EC2. Similarly, start instances. For which service? EC2. Start EC2 instances. Then create an SNS topic or publish an SNS topic or receive a message in SQS. This is simply defined in one line statements. So you can see it is very easy to understand, and the questions asked around these statements which look like code are even few. In AWS exam, basically they will be focusing on whether you have learned the concepts or what is your understanding, or in which situation or scenario what measures you will take, what is the feature in this XYZ AWS service, what this service does. This is the entire focus of the exam, and few questions will be asked around these statements. Okay, now I will show you some example statements. Okay, this is a Jayendra Patil's blog, one of my favorite blogs when it comes to preparing for certification. And these are some sample questions I can say which has the statements which look like code. Okay, basically it is asking us to verify which code snippet returns the URL of load balancer and blah blah blah. Overall idea here is you should only have an idea about which is the correct syntax. Now here you can see load balancer with the DNS name, and here it's only using an URL, or maybe here it is appended one. So out of these options given, which one is the correct syntax? You need to identify that. Similarly, you can find these I can say statements here. Just need to select the right statement. So this was all about whether you are required to have a coding or programming background to just pass your AWS certification exam.
So did you like the video? Then please subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon, press that like button and share this video with all of your friends. All the best for your AWS journey.